You know what I love to do? Eat. You know what you love to do? Eat. So why not cook some home-cooked meals and eat them from our sponsor, Blue Apron? Yeah! I wrote the ad. Blue Apron sends you food. It comes in pre-portioned bags. You follow step-by-step instructions, and you make the food for less than $10 a person. It is delicious, and you impress the people in your house. No one in your house? Tweet me, Greg Miller, the photos of your food this week, and I'll try to send back a video of me impressed with it. Check out this week's menu, like this month's spiced zucchini enchiladas, and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/gamescast. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. That's blueapron.com/gamecast. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Or as I like to say, don't eat a shoe. And I'm not joking about the photos, motherfucker. Try me. Topic number 3, Cool Games Incorporated.
Yes.
I was unaware of this show.
So Cool Games Inc. is a podcast that I do with my good friend Griffin McElroy every week, where the premise is this. This is Griffin's idea, and I adore it to death. Every week, people submit ideas for video games to us, and the idea might be something like, to pull something from this week's episode,
Available now on Polygon.
Available now on Polygon, on iTunes and wherever podcasts are sold. Sold?
Yeah, sure.
Sold. People will submit an idea like,
the
for
Amazon
example,
for free.
one of the ideas this week was Mario and Sonic at the Eurovision Song Contest. And so me and Griffin sit there and we just go through these ideas and we explore like, okay, what would Waluigi bring to the table versus what Big the Cat would bring to the table at a Eurovision like competition.
Okay.
And so it's really great because it's offloaded virtually all of the creativity to our fans and our listeners.
Of course.
They submit the ideas to us. We pick the ones that we find funniest and we sort of spitball until we pick the nug, the one that we think is like the kernel.
Yeah.
And that becomes the title of the episode, and that becomes like the main thing. And so it's just kind of a fun, like me and Griffin spitball stupid ideas all like for an hour once a week, and then pick our favorite, and that becomes our release. So Cool Games Inc. releases a game.
When is the show? When is the game released every week?
The game is released every Friday.
Okay.
Usually at night because I'm a procrastinator.
Well, I want to turn our show, the Gamescast, over to you for one topic.
Yeah.
The audience wrote in with all sorts of suggestions for elevator pitch ones. So now it's your decision. It's your show now. We can do one and spend 15 minutes with it, or we can bop around. Bob Bowie style.
At least one of these people is definitely a person after my own heart, specifically making a Phantom Dust reference just to make me happy, which I really like. So we do a thing.
Yeah, I saw that, and they're grouping me in with that. Like,
oh yeah, you're part of it now, buddy.
I know he's into the Phantom Dust.
I am.
On the other hand, I kind of remember when that game came out.
A thing,
understandably.
Yeah, and I think I'm like, you're gonna review this to somebody else. So like that. This is.
I remember the G4 TV Phantom Dust review.
Area.
I think the G4 TV Phantom Dust review complained about the camera, and I remember like 16-year-old me being very angry about that fact.
You were that guy.
I probably left a shitty comment.
I was about to say,
it's just called G4. So we do a thing sometimes on Cool Games Inc. called the kind of rapid fire thing, where we just run through ideas real quick. If anything catches our eye, then we can kind of elaborate on it. But I'll just start reading.
Okay.
Forrest Suarez suggests Nap Simulator VR.
I mean, I like that one. Here's what I like about that one.
Yeah.
So it's a VR game. VR experience should be short and punchy, right? Mm-hmm. You're in VR, and the setup beforehand is that you've been up all night working. You've been up for 48 hours. You are crashing. So your vision's fading. You're doing this. You have to build the best nap in 60 seconds.
Oh God.
And so there's like pillows around and blankets and hammocks and beds and like there's like proximity to the road. There's a drippy faucet, shit like that you have to worry about to find the optimal space.
There are, like, for example, as someone who takes an occasional nap, I think there are pros and cons to taking a couch nap versus a bed nap. And that's something you got to factor in.
Ooh, I don't even think about doing a bed nap. I dabble in naps myself.
Yeah.
I am all couch.
All couch all the time.
Yeah, actually, you know what I found? I usually need like sounds, like the radio or something to be able to take a nap. Yeah. I found exactly what works for me. I go on Netflix, and they have like all 27 seasons of Forensic Files.
Oh
no,
that's kind of a spooky thing to follow.
It's just, but no, the way it flows is just rudimentary, and it like and flat with its voiceover, and boom, I go to sleep in like 2 minutes.
When we were in New York for Polygon's like big video team meeting, I shared a hotel room with my co-host Griffin McElroy, who is.
How many times can you say Griffin's name?
I love to say Griffin McElroy's name. It's fun to say. So there's a rhythm of the. It's like a punchy.
Now, do you say Justin's name as much as Griffin's
name? That's just Justin. but Griffin McElroy, I say the full name every time.
This requires deeper
Justin
investigation.
McElroy is mine, all right? That's an Oreo-ration
McElroy,
thing.
that's a fun
the
one.
The McElroy moment. Literally went on for 30 episodes of Oreo-ration before somebody's like, you're saying his name wrong. It's like, God damn it. He never corrected me.
You don't just do J-Mac and G-Mac?
Ooh. That's really good. Man, how has that not come up before? Anyway, what I was going to say is we shared a hotel room, and he's way into the white noise, the iPhone white noise for sleeping. Okay. And I was blown away at how much it affected me. The white noise just conked me right out.
Really?
And that could be that could be something a direction you spec in for your nap VR game. Now I will say this. It says Nap Simulator VR, and the idea of simulating a nap in VR is essentially just putting on a headset that's not plugged in. That's what a nap is like.
All right,
so that's a free game that everyone has. If you have a VR headset, you
close your eyes at home right now.
See,
You're playing.
So many of my naps are also like anxiety dreams.
Oh, interesting.
So that's another way that you can look at it. You know, where it's like, hold on, I can't mail the letter, but they need to get the check.
What do you mean there's a final today? I haven't been to this class all semester.
I started having those again.
Terrible.
It's
Really?
really weird. I'm back in school, and I've had actors' nightmares repeatedly in the past few months.
Were they pushing you on stage? You know,
where I'm suddenly in a play and I don't, I have not learned the lines.
Oh,
One of
God.
them was like Shakespeare. I'm like, I can't dig my way through this one. And the other one is like, I'm suddenly taking a test that I haven't studied for.
The anxiety dream that I share with my siblings and a lot of my friends who are also big Dance Dance Revolution players, I found from talking to people, I thought this was just me, and then I realized over talking to DDR players, it is not just me.
Oh, no.
There's a recurring performance anxiety nightmare that people who play a lot of Dance Dance Revolution have, where you go to an arcade and you go to play DDR, and the machine is somehow fucked up. Like for me, it's frequently the front of the machine is like covering up the top arrow, so I can't quite hit it right. Or it's people have told me they've had ones where the DDR machine is extremely tiny, or like the pads are just broken, or arrows are missing. And so it's like I think for DDR players who go to play in an arcade and you're performing in a public place, this is our version of like like the stuff you're talking about with being in a play or something and not knowing the script. Like you go in to perform and you can't, and it's not your fault.
I guess what's interesting is the dedication that's on display. It's like, most reasonable people is like, I'm not doing that tiny DDR machine. No, it's like, no, I have to
play. I'm not gonna
have to.
My credibility has been challenged as a DDR master.
I can't remember the last time I walked into like an arcade or a mall and saw a DDR machine and didn't play it. Like you just have when you play the game, you have a physical compulsion to do it any chance you get, even if the pad is a nightmare. I've played at beaches before with sand in the pad, and it's not ideal. But this
wait. Explain DDR at the beach.
So
you don't get to walk away from that.
Man, we built an arcade in the sand. Surprised not a bigger hit.
Ocean Isle
It's like
Beach
a
in North
Belinda
Carolina.
Carlisle DDR smash up.
Yeah, there was at the pier at Ocean Isle Beach in North Carolina. They had like a DDR Max 2 cabinet there, right on the beach, which is like seems like a very obvious idea that that's going to be a problem. But my fond memory there was actually having a friend stand behind the DDR machine holding a cup while I played, and he requested tips, and we got like $3, and that was enough to play another game of DDR. And I was like, man, that's a beautiful thing.
Awesome.
Look at that, just the cycle of
the
life.
video game hustle never. You can't start too early.
All right, give me another game.
Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Chris Berg says, Hitman, but set in a high school drama department. You're a vengeful understudy willing to do anything for a top billing or a top killing. They didn't say that. I said that.
Yeah, see, when I read it off of Twitter when I was copying it, Hitman, but in high schools.
Yeah,
and then even here, it's like, I think we have to comically take people out right away.
Yeah, totally.
You can't, no killing, nobody's dying.
No murder.
Yeah.
But you're like, you maybe, oh God, what would be some things? Like,
you got the sandbags that knock them out, right?
Yeah.
On the side of
This game is rated teen.
Yeah,
because it's about teens.
Yeah, exactly.
T14.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have the sandbags. You swap out the lines, and so like he ends up doing another play at rehearsal, and so he gets thrown out.
Sure.
You could, like, as the understudy, you could be getting him his Dr. Pepper, and maybe you put a little bit of some sort of diuretic in the beverage.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm thinking like high school things. How do we make his acne break out? Like where they can't perform. Oh, you replace the makeup with like bacon grease or something.
Yes.
There you go.
Ooh,
Okay.
this
is good.
That's horrible.
Hey man, we're helping out getting the part. You know what I mean?
I know, we're trying. I know, but I was just like, it's different.
Bring some 2017 into it. We hack their Facebook. He leaves his phone unattended. We post something bad on Facebook, not about killing.
Yeah.
Someone about, I don't know, drugs?
Dick pics, maybe, something like that.
Our dick?
Yeah.
Y'all are really good at this, by the way. I would love to have both y'all on Quick and Easy. We haven't done a guest in like 7 months, but we should get back.
What happened to that last guest?
I don't want to talk about it. They're gone.
Bacon grease makeup.
Bacon grease makeup. Colin Ray Parker suggests, Master Pastor Blaster, your congregation all fell into a hole in the church and becomes radiated mutants. You must now fight and contain them, which feels like maybe this could be like a Far Cry 5 DLC situation.
Sure.
No,
maybe.
this is like the Blood Dragon.
Yeah, exactly. The Blood Dragon. Precisely.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's keep doing rapid fire. Gav Games on Twitter suggests a game where you are only armed with a car battery and jumper cables. What would that control like?
I think it's just those are the only thing you have to swing. You're swinging the jumper cables to hit people.
Oh, see, I was thinking you're not armed. You're just like the best Samaritan. Someone out there needs a jump.
Open. It's what we were talking about earlier. It's the GTA guy, but only playing as a cop. Right. You're just wandering this game looking to jumpstart cars.
Someone's gonna really be happy that I'm here.
My head definitely went to combat. For some reason,
right?
Everyone has, and I'm almost imagining.
Everyone.
Have you played ARMS on the Nintendo Switch at all?
No, I haven't yet.
I'm imagining an ARMS-like character who you've got the left and right jumper cables. You need to attach both of them.
Here's what I'm thinking. I like your idea that it's everybody. It's multiplayer.
Yeah.
Let's do like Battlegrounds. Where
That's exactly what I'm picturing.
Everybody has it right, and then you have rooms that have weapons in them, but you have to power or something in them. You power up the door with the battery, but you have to leave it unattended. So other people would swoop in and take your battery and your cables, shut you in the door, you're trapped in there, something like that.
I mean, one thing that Battlegrounds is missing, I think, right now, and I love that game, and it's like it's seeping into Cool Games Inc. Like the game we made this week is basically just PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, except one person is your guardian angel watching over you and can tell you that enemies are in the next room. So it's teams of 2, one guardian angel and one.
Yeah.
But one thing about that game is I have this constant feeling of like, man, I wish I could booby trap this house. Like, man, I wish I could attach jumper cables and a car battery to the doorknob, and then when someone walks in, they get zapped.
Yeah.
So maybe there's room for that in here somewhere.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, set traps with you. Yeah, okay.
Or like, it's like a really malevolent Scooby-Doo. You know, like at the end of the Scooby-Doo episodes, like they have the elaborate plan that Shaggy and Scooby, you know, always screw up to get the bad guy. But it's like that, but it's got like a nastier edge because there's electricity.
There is electricity and death involved.
And death.
Phantom Crust, 2-player PvP battle about removing crust from bread slices.
Where's the Phantom in this?
That's up to us.
I'm looking to you,
right?
because, you know.
I mean, we can get the Phantom in there.
Yeah.
So the idea is that whoever doesn't get it done fast, whoever takes the longest to get so you got it. The bread is in the center. You got to run out. You got to fight each other's like gang beasts or grab it and run and do it. You got to cut it. Then you got to deliver it. And whoever doesn't get it delivered, a Phantom swoops in like Nidhogg takes the person.
I love that.
See, what I'm liking is just to give it a little bit more edge. Is that it's supposed to be for a cucumber sandwich? And if you've ever had a delicious cucumber sandwich, that ratio of cucumber to butter is essential. Because I mean, it's tenuous, and you can screw up at any minute.
Right.
To say nothing of the perfectly removed crust.
That's
and then a Phantom,
where's the Phantom?
It's kind of like at Passover when you leave the wine out for Elijah.
You leave the cucumber sandwich out.
Yeah, you leave it, and then the Phantom comes and he relives. Maybe he's an old British Phantom. And he's just like trying to re-engage with the living and the corporeal, and he does it through cucumber sandwiches.
That's not a bad way to do it.
It's kind of a tragic tale of loss.
Until the end there, we had Overcooked DLC.
Gang Beast idea is also really exciting for me too.
Like, right, mash them up.
Yeah, mash them up.
All right, cool.
Let's see. You want to do one more?
Yeah, well, for whatever you pick one more from the fans, and the final one has to be this one. But it's my chicken scratch handwriting. If you need me to read it,
here's a fan one. Spencer Caccini suggests Alien Isolation, but all the aliens are replaced with corgis.
Okay.
But there's only one alien in Alien Isolation.
So, and
just
all
one
of them
corgi.
are replaced with corgis. It's one corgi.
Is it why still are we a malevolent corgi?
Yeah, why are we hiding from the corgi? I want to pet him.
Maybe it's like a Gone Home situation where you're scared for the first half of it and then you realize it was all for naught.
Why don't I just embrace this corgi?
Yeah.
He seems like a nice guy.
Good corgi.
Or maybe it's kind of like that famous Twilight Zone episode with like the town that's terrified of the little girl.
Sure.
Except now it's a corgi and you're on the spaceship and you're like, why is there a corgi here? It must be evil.
Right.
But you're trying to figure out what the evil is of the corgi.
It'd be perfect. I would want this game to exist just for the fact of sitting there watching. You hear it in the vent, and then it just like awkwardly falls, shakes its head, comes over.
Dog comes out, smiling at you.
Yeah. Maybe it's because it's the corgi on a space station vibe, but I'm definitely picturing Ein from Cowboy Bebop. If you've seen that, like that's just a fat, thick, sort of Twinkie like corgi that is sort of they're in the no gravity rooms. It's kind of waggling its little legs in the air.
Yeah,
some fun imagery.
Drifting around. Okay,
that's one of those cartoony things you like, right?
It's one of those cartoony things I like, yeah.
And now our final Cool Games Inc. comes from Tim Gettys, who can't be here because he's preparing for Kind of Funny Live, and we're preparing for E3.
Well, he's clearly not preparing that hard.
I know.
He's sending you ideas.
Tim's suggestion for his game is Press Conference Simulator 2014 HD Remaster. What have they updated? What have they added for the 2017 version?
Ooh.
So think of 2014 video game conferences. What kind of thing would we have to add?
First thing they've updated is they're not calling them press conferences. They're calling them spotlight showcases, jamborees, and
Directs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have the option if you want to, instead of actually having a press conference, to have a pre-recorded thing.
Pre-recorded YouTube video. Yeah.
Yo, that was pioneered by Konami.
Yes.
And I remember G4.
And everybody was like, let's not do it like that. Let's do it good.
Yeah, let's do it good.
They were alternately horrifying and ingenious.
Yeah, you couldn't look away from those early Konami press conferences.
Yeah.
There's just something so special about, like, God, 1 million troops. There's just so many things. I still think about that all the time. Naoki Maeda, who was basically the figurehead of Dance Dance Revolution for the first decade of its existence, was there showing off dance. God, what was it called? Dance Masters. It was like a Kinect dancing game where he said you can move your body freely. And there is one specific Konami press conference that I have fully memorized and will never get out of my head.
I just like that you have to use the Kinect to actually move your body freely.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We are too constrained in our actual lives.
In the real world, you need the Kinect to free us.
To read my body so I can free the body.
It's the second time I've talked about Kinect today.
Really?
What the fuck is going on?
Was the first one here? Because I don't remember it.
No, the first one was on Cool Games.
Oh, thank God. I was going to say, I mean, I black out most Kinect stories.
We talked about Kinect Star Wars a little bit.
That was like such a freeing moment of packing to move and picking up the Kinect. I'm like, fuck you.
You know how like
Trash.
sometimes there'll be like a tiny shitty thing about your life that you could fix really easily, but you don't?
Sure.
I've had my Xbox One Kinect in front of my TV for 2 years now, just sitting there, and it's like kind of blocking the IR thing on my TV.
You do this
so I have to point my remote at the ceiling and stuff so the rays will bounce off. And it's not even plugged in. Why am I doing that?
I got a new TV, and it was like the shape was different, so I had to get rid of the Kinect for that very same reason.
Yeah.
What was funny, we're like, for the next 3 days, yelling at a television that stopped listening to me.
Oh God, yeah.
And it was kind of like, oh,
don't give me the silent
she's
treatment.
Really gone. She's really gone.
Xbox, right there.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Gamecast, hosted by me, Greg Miller. Click here to subscribe. Click here to see more Gamescast videos. Click here to support us on Patreon. Click there to go see the Kind of Funny content we do at youtube.com/kindoffunny. I love you.